Morning BrewTube, AZ Homebrewer, coming back at you with another video. This time I got as a request from a buddy of mine that it'd be a good idea to post a couple videos in regards to my cleaning regimen. But first things first, doing a brew video. Got to drink something brew related. Well, I brewed coffee. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Get off my ass. So I get a lot of I've had friends that ask the age-old question: the PBW versus OxyClean. There's some OxyClean. Here's PBW. Some people swear by one. Some people swear by the other. I actually use both. One reason is OxyClean is designed to clean your clothes. Okay, that's what it first originally came out to do. PBW is designed to clean beer-related items. That said, I made sure, and the wife wasn't happy about this, by the way, but I have an old, dirty-ass Carboy, with the trub, a little beer left over, and everything else. So I go through a full demonstration of what I do on a cleaning basis. This video is going to be just Carboy-related. I'll do another one with my actual brewing equipment. I might even do one with a conical, because my conical with my meat is almost done, so I might do a cleaning video on that one as well. But essentially, today's just Carboy. So for cleaning a Carboy, you can see you got all that nasty stuff. Hey, we're gonna see if we can get a nice close up. Look at all that trub all in there. So what I mainly do is I have a few items when it comes to cleaning just the Carboys itself for after fermentation, after secondary. This is the only part where I actually use the OxiClean, because PBW is a lot more expensive, and besides, when it comes to needing this vessel again for a secondary or a primary, then I go through a different regimen where I actually use the PBW, leave that in there for a while, and then start sand and then carry on my brew day. So I only use the OxiClean only after primary or secondary fermentation, just to do the rough cleaning, and then I put it away dry. So this is basically my video of that. I also have a washcloth, a little torn up washcloth, kind of retired. And then I also have a bung where it doesn't have a hole in it. So that allows me, because obviously a lot of people put their hands, hold that sucker tight to make sure there's no liquid or anything that comes out. So that's the synopsis for today. So stick around and keep watching. Okay, so obviously first things first, you gotta get rid of all the extra trub and any extra sediment that's actually already in here. So basically just fill the sucker up with some water, enough to swish everything around. Just want to make it easier for brew day. And let this thing sit for a couple days out here at room temp after everything is empty. It stinks, but I had to wait till the weekend in order to make a brew video. Well, put about a half gallon in there. Then you could use the old stopper that I used, or the one that's not plugged. But basically, do a little shaky, and get rid of as much as the old trub and yeast and everything else that's involved. I'll do this a couple times, just to get rid of as much of the gunk as possible. This actually had my Saison in it, by the way. It's coming in almost around 6%. I have that thing in at secondary right now, and I should be doing a dry hop here in a couple days with it. I did not make a brew video for it because I don't want to be repetitive over the same thing over and over again, just a different beer style. But I might make, I'll keep making videos. So as long as I keep getting requests of if someone wants to see a certain item or whatnot, put in the comments and let me know. I'll see if I can make a video relating to that. So, as you can see, now I got rid of most of the trub and yeast and sediment and everything else. So now I just got the ring of death. Anyone with a Carboy, especially that crappy ass Carboy brush, knows that this top area is just hard as shit to freaking get rid of. So usually I'll make sure this water is going about as hot as it can get it, and then I'll add a healthy amount of OxiClean to it. Fill it up to the brim. Let it soak for about a half hour to an hour. So, well, that's heating up. This is an old ketchup bottle that I took off. I took off all the labels and whatnot. And then that little plastic little nipple thing, I removed that. So that way you have a nice little, quarter-inch hole sticking out. Now, unlike PBW, where it actually tells you how much to put in, because of OxiClean, I buy a big old bucket of it, and it's just meant for this one purpose. I'll just push it in there until I, feel like I have enough. Could be an ounce, could be 2. Usually, out of this whole bottle, I'll get about 6 or 7 cleans out of it. So just, however long I feel like doing it. If I want to leave it there for a minute or 2, that's fine also. So, I don't know if you can see that. That's the pile, which is actually quite a bit, believe it or not. That's actually a pretty big pile of OxiClean. Well, basically what I said is I'll just fill this sucker all the way up, and then after it's dissolved some of it, then I do have a Carboy brush. I might see if I can get a little bit in there, but a lot of times I'll just sit down in front of the TV, throw a washcloth in here, and bounce it back and forth on my knee, and it comes out pretty damn clean. So after this thing soaks for a little bit, I'll get back to you. So while the Carboy is soaking in OxiClean, little background of the regiment that I came up with. When I first started brewing, I never got PBW. Okay, I always thought using Dawn dish soap clean my equipment, and then star sanding it was the answer. It took a buddy of mine who has a more refined palate than I do. Was able to tell that I had some serious flaws in somewhere within my brew process. Found out that obviously Dawn dish soap is not the correct kind of cleaner for your equipment because something chemically or molecularly, it will envelop the gunk, but it might not get rid of it. Whereas and PBW is designed for brewing equipment. So that was strike 1 for me. Strike 2, after using Dawn dish soap, is because since I did not use PBW, I thought star sand was the fix-all. It's like, hey, I star sand it, it's clean, all right, I can use it. Well, think of it like this: if I were to shit in a box and star sand all over it, would you still eat off of it? No, because it's still a piece of shit. It's still dirty. It's still gross. Same aspect is of that as it is to brewing. I know I went way left, but just to kind of emphasize of where I'm going to. So all the star sand does is a surface sanitizer. It does not clean it or anything. Whereas PBW is the cleaner. That's the stuff that will actually remove the gunk and dirt and grime and everything else involved. And then once you have your clean surface, then you star sand it. Then you have a sanitized, clean surface. So that was my strike 2. Strike 3 is I actually wound up picking up either off flavors, semi-infection, something like that, along with my buddy who first recognized it. And so because of that, I broke everything down. I found out where I was doing my steps wrong. Since then, I think, and I give them, you know, some of my beer on every batch, just to, as you know, a second, you know, a second palate to verify where I'm going with my beers. So it hurts, especially I had to actually throw out an Oktoberfest and an Irish Red at the same time because of possible cross contamination. So nothing sucks more than spending, you know, almost 60 days on an Oktoberfest and watching it go down the fucking drain. That sucks. Irish Red, it was good, but it was a good wake up call, because obviously, you know, that's wasting a lot of money, it's wasting a lot of time, it's wasting beer. I mean, beer of anything else. So there is a difference. There is a place in brewing. I think this is all my way of doing everything. It might not be the best way. Hell, I might even still be doing shit wrong. That's a good thing about brewing and putting videos on and getting comments and everything back, is like, hey, you're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. Try this instead. I'm always willing to adapt. That's the best part about this hobby, is I'm always wanting to adapt, always wanting to learn. That's why I put my beers in competitions and everything. So to reiterate, use PBW. Use some kind of beer brewing cleaner. It doesn't have to be PBW. It could be whatever else that's out there in the market. I use PBW. I use OxiClean. I only use it to clean my Carboys. Carboys only. I use this after primary fermentation or secondary fermentation. And my Carboys only. When it comes to buckets, plastic buckets, whole different ballgame. That's where you got to watch out from creating scratches and whatnot in it. So once again, use PBW. It cleans your equipment. This cleans it too, but this was designed to clean your clothes, or this was used to clean brewing equipment. Then you sanitize. All right, so here's my full Carboy. Like I said, I got this sucker filled all the way to the top. You can already kind of see. Now this is, like I said, once again with OxiClean. You can definitely tell it's getting a lot cleaner. Sorry about that, about my dogs. Little 6-month-old puppies like to keep playing at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna let this thing soak for a while. Like I said, half hour, 40 minutes, somewhere around in there. That should be good. We'll take a test after that. Okay, we're about a half an hour into the soak, and there's been some pretty decent improvements, and I haven't touched it at all. So let's come take a look. All right, well, I haven't touched this sucker. As you can tell, a lot of that residual crap is actually coming loose, and actually coming up north towards the top. So it's OxiClean works very, very well. So I think maybe, hell, I might not even need to scrub it. So these are these shitty Carboy brushes I was talking about. See how flat they get, and they work, but they're more of a pain in the ass than anything else. That's the reason why I do the washcloth right here. So stick around, and you'll be seeing the second half of the video. Okay, so our soak is pretty much done, and now it's gonna be doing the cleaning. So here's a better view of this brush. And I've only used it just only a few times. You can just see how flat it is and everything else. I think it works great for the upper section, but not so much on the bottom and whatnot. But it's something where if this thing breaks one day, I'm not going to miss it too much. So I got it in here. I'm just going to just very lightly just kind of scrub. And you see how quick all that trub, residual trub and everything went away. So now everything looks like it's broken loose. Yeah, some of it even fell down to down to the bottom. So, like I said, sometimes it's just that quick. As long as the wife doesn't get mad about you taking up part of the sink to clean all your brewing equipment. So I'll rinse that thing off later. So now you got this big yellow, Mountain Dew looking amount of water. So now it's just the fact of now I'm emptying it back out. And for the most part, I try to, when I'm doing my brewing, is I try to conserve water as much as possible, especially like when I'm chilling my wort down to pitching temp. Because some of those some of you guys that connect stuff to your water hose and everything, they chill it. You got a lot of water going down to the drain. Some people might try to put it in a pool and whatnot. I don't own a pool, so it makes it a little more difficult for me. So I try to salvage as much water as possible. I'm not in an area where I need to, but it costs me money. The more money I'm draining, putting down the drain. So this will go down about halfway, maybe a little bit more than half, as much of the water I want to drain out. I still want to leave a lot of the OxiClean solution in there. And then from there is when I'll go and put the washcloth in, add the bung, shake around, and as clean as this thing got without me actually scrubbing it, it probably won't be very long before this thing I would signify as rough clean. Like I stated earlier, when it comes to me actually using this vessel again for beer, then I'll go and use PBW in it and actually do the brewery clean. This is just to get a lot of the really bad crap out, and so we're almost done. Once again, if you always have any questions, comments, concerns, whatnot, drop it in the comments. I'm usually pretty good at answering comments on YouTube, and this is something I like to do, and that's how I learned how to do a lot of this beer brewing hobby, is by watching other people's videos and asking questions and everything. So it's my way of essentially like paying it forward. All right, so we're almost halfway there. I'll get just a little bit more out of this bastard. You almost got to learn how to do a slow pour on a carboy. And any of you bottle condition brewers know about slow pouring. Okay. This is a 6.5 gallon glass carboy, by the way. This is, obviously I use this as my primary fermenter. So, as you can see, it's definitely more than half empty. You still have plenty of the OxiClean solution. And when I was first doing this with the washcloth, I was always scared, like, oh my God, I'm never going to get the washcloth out. When it finally wets itself and becomes pliable, it makes it a lot easier to remove. Plus, with the motion of the water coming out, it naturally wants to go that direction. So, I'm using the closed bung in there. Saw me add the washcloth. So now it's just the fact of just spend a good, 4 or 5 minutes if you want, going back and forth. Basically you just want to get every part of this vessel clean, rotate it some, so that I don't have to really hold down this bung. I still do because I'm swishing water back and forth towards it, and obviously with hot water, it creates pressure. So you still want to hold it, but you don't have to frickin' really jam your hand on it to keep any water from coming out. So it's not very difficult. Like I said, for video purposes, this is the reason why I'm holding it up. Most of the time I just sit it on my knee and just rock it back and forth. And if you want, one of those things, you can go ahead and dump out some more of the liquid. So as you can see, the washcloth came right on out towards it. I want to keep that in there, because I want to release a little bit more liquid out. Because I want to allow the washcloth to actually scrub the inside versus just getting bounced around from all the water. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll show you how I dry it. Okay, so now I have my Carboy cleaned out. Also didn't show it, but I also, once I dumped everything out, got the towel out. I also rinsed it a couple times with water, getting residual OxiClean out. So now it's just coming time to dry it, and so I have a little stack of paper towels on here. And then I got this this dryer, or dry rack, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people don't realize that this thing is actually double purpose. Actually, obviously here in the front or in the center is meant for your carboys. You turn it over, that's how they have these little tabs. This is, you can put your kegs on top of it upside down and let those dry as well. I notice a lot of people, I see most people use it for the carboy versus the keg. And so basically, I'll just set out the paper towels on this section right here, because you will get a decent amount of water coming out. Kind of center it. Last little bit of water. Just sit it right there on top. Let it dry for a while. What I'll probably want to do is taking the strap off. I'll wipe down the outside because obviously you get some residual here and about. But that's basically what I do when I clean my carboys. Nothing else I could really add to that whatsoever. I think I've beaten the dead horse for far long enough in this video. But if you do enjoy it, please like it, subscribe if you want to, drop a comment if you want to. I'll do more, a couple of these videos in the future. Like I said, I'll do one with my beer brewing equipment. I actually need to do a video of my new setup as well. Other than that, this is AZ Homebrewer. Talk to you later.